having a fraction in your exponent is actually the same thing as having a radical. So for example, if we have maybe 9 to the 1/2 power, okay, that may seem a little bit weird. That really is just the same thing as the square root of 9. Okay? It's saying what times itself equals 9. So 9 to the 1/2 is just 3. So we're going to be doing a lot of converting back and forth from things that have fractional exponents and radical form. Okay, two different forms to write the same thing. Radicals just help us kind of remember and think intuitively about what it means to have a fractional exponent, but writing it as a fractional exponent helps us remember that all of the exponent rules apply. So we use both notations depending on the situation. So let's look at this. If we have a fraction that maybe doesn't have 1 in the numerator, it could be anything. So a raised to a power that is a fraction, that is the same thing as the 1 over the denominator, then raised to the numerator's power. So for example, if we have the nth root of the number, because 1 over n is the nth root of that number. So let's look at this one down here. We have the 4th root of 16 cubed, okay? Maybe you don't know what 16 cubed is off the top of your head. Maybe you don't know what the 4th root of 16 cubed. That's okay. We can rewrite this as 16 to the 3 over 4, okay? And you still may not be able to do that in your head, but you can type this in very easily on a calculator. And this is also the same thing as the 4th root of 16 and then cubed. All right, so these are all the same thing. This would be the way that I would recommend typing it on the calculator. So let's go ahead and try the calculator real quick. All right, minimize this. So we want to type in 16 to the 3/4. This is the version we'll use. And the way you do that is you type in 16 and then use the caret key and then parentheses 3 over 4. And for those of you who have this type of calculator, you probably won't need the parentheses because it'll put it in for you. But type in 16, the caret is right here above the division, and then if it doesn't automatically put you up here in the exponent, you'll need to use parentheses. Okay, 3 over 4. I'm already up here in the exponent, so I don't need to use parentheses, but it never hurts to use them. Enter. All right, and then it tells us 8 is our answer. All right. Okay, let's go back. So let's look at some old rules. So we did these rules right here. A times b raised to a power equals a times that a raised to the power, b raised to the power. We did this last section. So let's go ahead and look how it works with fractional exponents. A times b raised to the 1 over n. Remember, this is just radical. This and this are the same thing. A times b raised to the 1 over n, the same thing as the nth root of a times b. But according to this rule that we learned, this exponent rule tells us that this is a to the 1 over n times b to the 1 over n. So that's telling us that the nth root of a times b is actually equal to the nth root of a times the nth root of b. So this is one way that the exponent rules can really be helpful to us. If we have the same, notice it has to be the same root, then we can combine these into one. So for example, let me grab red real quick. If we have the cube root of 4 times the 5th root of 9, can we simplify this at all? No, not in this case, not without getting some kind of rounded answer. So we can't do that. But if, for example, this was also the third root of 9, then yes, we could actually, because they're both a third root, so third root, and then 4 times 9 is 36, so that would work out. Okay, one very important note is the freshman stream. You've heard me say it before, and you'll hear me say it again. If you have two numbers being added together, raised to a power, you cannot distribute the you cannot distribute the exponent over the two bases, because exponents don't distribute over addition. Multiplication distributes over addition, and exponents distribute over multiplication, but exponents do not distribute over addition. So this is not true. We wish so desperately that it was true. That's why it's called the freshman stream. Okay, so a plus b raised to a power is not necessarily equal to a to the power plus b to the power. And the same thing works with radicals. So the nth root of a plus b is not necessarily the nth root of a plus the nth root of b. Just be careful.